Hi guys, my name is Terry. In this video, I'm going to go through the Additional Mathematics SPM Trial Exam Paper for 2023. This is Sekolah Bersama Penuh SBP paper, paper 2. Okay, let's begin with question number 1. Jadual menunjukkan 3 jenis rumah banglo yang dibina oleh syarikat pemaju makmur di Taman Sejahtera Kuala Lumpur. Kos pembinaan dan harga jualan berbeza bagi setiap rumah. Yeah, you can see the costs and the selling price are different. So this is a question from a system of equation. You have 3 unknown because I know they are you have X number of house type A, Y number of house type B, and Z number of house type C. We're going to form 3 equation. Okay, read the next line. The syarikat pemaju makmur telah mengeluarkan modal sebanyak 630 million. So this is your modal is for your cost, construction cost. Menjual 140 rumah, that means total number of houses 140. You can add this up, X plus Y plus Z is 140. All right, and then memperolehi keuntungan 515 juta. So now to find the profit or keuntungan, we take the difference between the selling price and the construction cost. 5.5 minus 3 is 2.5. 9 minus 5, you get 4. 11 minus 6, the difference is 5. So this is a cost and this is a profit, and total profit is 515 million. And your total cost is 630 million. So they're all in million. So here we can see quite clearly there are 3 equations here. The first equation is X plus Y plus Z equals 140, total number of houses, right? You're supposed to find cari bilangan setiap jenis rumah. So which is type A, type B, type C. I call it X, Y, and Z. So we start off by forming the first equation. Here, second equation will be your construction cost, which is 3x plus 5y plus 6z. And the total is 630, right? Call this equation number 2. The third equation will be your profit, 2.5x plus 4y plus 5z. The result is 515. Now, normally we want to avoid fraction. So if you, or decimal, if you have 2.5, I think we just multiply by 2, make it a whole number or integer, 5x, 8y, and 10z. This will be 1030. Yeah, multiply by 2, equation number 3. Okay, here we're going to decide whether you get rid of x, y, or z. So normally what we look at is look at the coefficient here. So you can see x, the coefficient, or should I say the LCM of 1, 3, and 5 is 15. If you look at your y is 1, 5, and 8, so it's bigger. This LCM will be 40. And if you look at your z will be 1, 6, and 10. This is even bigger. This is 30. So I guess we get rid of x, yeah, because x has a smaller LCM. So I think we can just take equation 1, get rid of x from the first equation and second equation first. We take equation 1, multiply by 3. So equation 1 is easier to work with there because the coefficient for all 3 x, y, z are the same. The perkali coefficient are all the same. So if you multiply by 3, you get 3x, 3y, 3z. 140 times 3 is 420. Call this equation 4. Now let's take equation 4 minus equation 2, or 2 minus 4. I think 2 minus 4 is easier, right? 3x minus 3x disappear. 5y minus 3y is 2y. 6z minus 3z is 3z. So 630 minus 420, this is 210. We'll call this equation number 5. Then I'm going to take equation 1 again. I multiply by 5, y times y, because I want to get rid of this 5 in from your equation number 3. So when you multiply by 5, you get 5x, 5y, 5z, 420 times 5 is 8 times 5. 2, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm 140 times 5. 280 times 5 is 700. Yeah, 700 million. Okay, so equation number 6. Okay, now let's take equation number 3 and number 6. We subtract equation 3 minus equation 6. 5x minus 5x disappear. 8y minus 5y is 3y, 10z minus 5z is also 5z. 1030 minus 700 is 330, equation number 7. Now I know this is rather long because you have 2y, 3z, 3y, 5z. I can't solve it by subtracting it. I still have to get rid of one of the unknowns. So maybe we get rid of y because y has a small LCM. LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. So let me take equation 5 multiply by 2 to get 6y. 3, sorry, multiply by 3 and not 2, multiply by 3. So 3z multiplied by 3 is 9z. 210 times 3 is 630. Call this equation number 8. And then let's take equation 7 times 2 to get 6y. Yeah, 3y times 2 is 6y. 5z times 2 is 10z. 330 times 2 is 660. So from here, we can just call this equation 9 and subtract the equation 9 minus equation number 8. The 6y and 6y can cancel. 10z minus 9z is 1z. 630 minus 660 minus 630, the difference is 30. All right, I've got my z value. Now let's solve for either y or x. I think find y first will be better. We sub inside equation number 5. 2y plus 3z, z is 30. The result 210. 210 minus 90 is 120. 120 divided 2, your y is 60. Then you sub inside equation number 1 because we want to find all three, x, y, and z. X is an unknown, y is 60, z is 30, this is 140. So 140 minus 90, that will give us 50. So in conclusion, you build 50 house type A, right? Or maybe I write here, house type A, the number of houses is 50 unit. House type B is your y, 60 unit. House type C is z, 30 unit. Okay, let's move on to question number 2. Raja menunjukkan graf bagi y equals to a power x. So pada Raja satu lakarkan graph of y equals log base ax. Okay, how you know that the graph of logarithm graph is actually the inverse of your graph of y equals a power x. So when you inverse a function, right, the graphical representation is a reflection in the line y equals to x. Okay, so let's draw the reflection. So it should pass through 1 like this. And this point will be, now when you reflect over the x and y value will interchange. Instead of 0.6 and 4, it's now 4, 4.0, 0.6. Instead of 0, 1, this one will be 1, 0. Yeah, so there you go. This is the graph of y equals to log base ax. Okay, so I've done the graph here. Then they say, berikan justifikasi bagi lakaran tersebut. So how can you justify the sketch? Well, we know, like I say, the graph of y equals to log base ax is the inverse function of y equals to a power x. Yeah, or in bahasa, if you so we can write graph of this ialah fungsi songsang bagi graph y equals a power x. I use the term fungsi songsang or fungsi songsangan. All right. So now, not only that, you must say, therefore, okay, the graph of y equals a, okay, maybe I can just write log ax is the reflection in the line y equals to x, right? So in bahasa, reflection is pantulan, ya, pada paksi, pada garis, ya, pantulan pada garis y equals to x. All right, so this is the first part. I think it's okay, not difficult. Let's talk about second part here, the solving part. Okay, first they say pemudahkan this logarithm, right? This is part B. Pemudah means simplify. So we can simplify this by first changing the base. You can see this is base 3, this is base 9. So we're going to change to a smaller base. So I will copy my base 3, 3x minus 1. As for this base 9, I change the base 3 on top and below. That's the new base. Original number x squared on top, original base, right, 9 below. Now, why do you change the base 3? Because this is base 3, right? So that we can combine them. Now, next, keep writing this. Log base 3, 3x minus 1. We know we can bring the power 2 in front, the x power 2. Yeah, you can bring the power 2 in front. The reason why I bring in front, because we know log base 3, 9 is just 2. Okay, one of the things you can do, you can use your calculator to calculate this. It's actually not illegal. We take log base 3, 9. You see the result is 2. Yeah, we know that generally log a to the power n is just n. So 9 is 3 power 2, then this is just 2. Okay, so you can write 2 here. I'm going to cancel the 2 and the 2 here. By the way, this is minus, sorry. It's a minus. So we can now combine this further, 3x minus 1 minus log base 3x. So when you put them together, this is log base 3, 3x minus 1 over x. There you go. We simplify this already. Sometimes when they say simplify, simply means combine into a single logarithm. Perhaps the question should say, yeah, pemudahkan kepada sebutan logarithm tunggal, or simplify to a single logarithm. Okay, so this is B Roman 1. Okay, Roman 2, we're going to solve this equation. To solve this equation, we know that the entire thing here is the same as the one above here. So I'm going to write log base 3, 3x minus 1 over x. The result is -1. So we just change from logarithm form to index form. This is 3 power -1. I hope you know this. Log base a y is now x. Y is a power x, right? And what is 3 power -1? 3 power -1 is just 1 over 3. So let me continue here. Let's cross multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. This is 1x. 9x minus 1x is 8x. This is 3. X is 3 over 8. Okay. Okay, question number 3. This is from chapter Vektor. So Raja menunjukkan sebuah segitiga PQR, garis lurus PU dan garis lurus SR bersilang pada titik T dengan keadaan TR is 4 over 5 SR. Okay, TR is 4, 5 SR. That means TR is 4, SR is 5, TS is 1. PU is 2 times of PT. That means these two are equal length. Yeah. That means your PT is 1, TU is also 1. Yeah, T will be the midpoint, titik tengah. Diberi bahawa PR equals to X. Okay, PR is measured from here to here is X. PS equals to Y. This is Y here. Then you're supposed to ungkapkan dalam sebutan X and Y vector PT. So if I want to go from P to T, right, there are two ways that we can go P to S, S to T, or you can go P to R, R to T. Either way, so I think I will just use P to S, S to T. Let me write over here. This is A Roman 1. How to go from P to T? We go P to S plus S to T. Now, PS, as we know, is Y. ST is 1 over 5 of SR. Yeah, 1 over 5. SR is longer, ST is shorter. Well, to go from S to R, I can go S to P, P to R, which means we got to go minus Y plus X. Yeah, minus Y plus X. So let me show you here. This is Y, 1 over 5 minus Y plus X. Expand the bracket, Y minus 1 over 5, Y plus 1 over 5, X. Put them together, 1 over 5, X plus 4 over 5, Y. Okay, that is Roman 1. Roman 2, we are supposed to find RU. Let me wrap this off. To go from R to U, I think we can go directly. This is RU, so we can't go directly actually because I do not know what is RU from here. I have to go through this line here. R to P, P to U. Yeah, R to P, P to U. Okay, let me write down. RU is RP, RP plus BU. Now your RP is negative X. Your PU is 2 times of PT. And I've already got PT from the first part. So I'm going to use the result from Roman 1, which is 1 over 5x, 4 over 5y, multiply inside minus x, 2 over 5x, 8 over 5y. So put it together. This one should be negative. You can put at the back, in front, doesn't matter. Normally we put a positive in front, negative at the back. This is 3 over 5x. Yeah, but if you put negative 3 over 5 in front, 8 over 5y at the back, it doesn't matter. All right, I've done until here. Okay, let me show you the next part. The next part, you're given that delivery PQ equals HY. Yeah, let me rub this off. PQ will be the whole thing. It's H times of Y. Okay, so we have to show you here. This is H times of Y. Okay, and RQ is K times of RU. RQ is K times of RU. Okay, RU, we know RU already. RU is here, this part here. So we're supposed to find the values of H and K. So we're going to link them together. So to link them together, I think we can just use PR because they are both including this line. So yeah, PQ is this line. Your RQ is this line. And when you join together, this is your RP or PR. It's up to you. You can use PR, you can use RP. So let me just do B here. I just do PR. PR is P to Q, Q to R. Okay. PQ, as we know, is HY. QR is negative of RQ, but RQ is K times of RU. So negative KRU. And we know our RU already from here. I'm going to sub in 8 over 5y minus 3 over 5x. Okay, put them together, HY minus 8 over 5ky plus 3 over 5kx. Okay, so put together 3 over 5kx plus h minus 8 over 5ky. And I know my PR, yeah? You can see PR is just x, yeah? It's given earlier. So this is just x. So to solve this, we have to compare. Now, how do you compare? Well, on my left-hand side, you can see that my x here has a coefficient of 1, right? On my right-hand side, my x here is 3 over 5. So by comparing the coefficient, we bandingkan perkali x, 3 over 5k is now 1. Therefore, my k is 5 over 3. Then we compare the coefficient of y. Let me highlight here the blue one. Now, you notice on the left-hand side, you have no terms in y. So if you want, you can add in 0y. Yeah, there's no y here. Okay, so we take h minus 8 over 5k. The result is 0. H is 8 over 5 times k. Now, since k we know is 5 over 3, cancel the 5, h will be 8 over 3. Okay, question number 4. This is from the chapter Quadratic Equation, Fungsi Quadratik, Form 4 chapter 2. Raja menunjukkan wayar elektrik di antara tiang A dan tiang B yang berjarak 7 meter. Tiang kedua-dua, tinggi kedua-dua tiang adalah 10 meter. Right? So pada suatu hari tertentu, wayar elektrik telah mengendur dan membentuk suatu parabola dengan keadaan ketinggian minimum wire dari tanah is 3 over 4, 3/4 daripada tinggi tiang. So when you say 3 over 4 of your height, of your tree, of the pole, yeah, this will be 30 divided by 4, or we say 15 over 2, yeah, 7.5 if you want, yeah. So this has a minimum height, 7.5, or you can say 15 over 2. Maybe I just write as 15 over 2. Okay, now, we're supposed to cari persamaan wire elektrik yang berbentuk parabola itu dalam bentuk vertex. This is a vertex form, right? Dengan keadaan PQ adalah pemalah. Okay, anggap A titik asalan. So this is your origin O. So it's like a graph like this. We need to find the equation. Okay, so we know that if this length from here to here is 7, if I divide by 2, the length from here to here would be 7/2. Maybe I write here 7/2. Okay, that means this is a coordinate actually. It's a point with 7/2 as your x, 15/2 as your y. Now the question already said you have to write in vertex form. Vertex form is fx equals to a x minus b squared plus q. You know your fx has a minimum, and my minimum is q. When the one inside the bracket 0, x is p. X equals p is your axis of symmetry. Persamaan paksi symmetry. So you can see from here, your axis of symmetry is this 7/2 is your x value. The vertex is your y value, 15/2, which means it's your minimum value. So my q is 15/2 and my p is 7/2. Right, I need to take these two and sub inside this equation. Now the problem is we don't know what is my a value, right? I don't know what's my a value. So to find the value of a, I have to sub in another coordinate. Yeah, we can use this point here, right? So this is your y-axis. This point here is 0, 10. So let us substitute or gantikan 0, 10. That means your fx or your y is 10. Your x is 0. Then we find our a. Now let's take 10 minus 15/2. 10 minus 15/2 is 20 minus 15. So it's 5/2, right? Okay. And 0 minus 7/2 is negative 7/2. You square it, you get 49/4. That's your A. Multiply 4 up, 4 cancel with 2, left with 2, right? 2 times 5 is 10. Bring the 49 down. This is my A value. Let us rewrite this. Your fx is now 10/49, x minus 7/2 square plus 15/2. All right. Yeah. First part, bit interesting. Second part. Now, seterusnya, jika seekor burung hinggap di atas wire C is here, pada titik C, di atas wire pada titik C, terletak 100 cm mengufuk dari tiang B, tentukan ketinggian burung dari tanah mengufuk. So this is your ketinggian burung dari mengufuk. This is your what they call it, jarak mengufuk dari tiang B. But they give us this in cm. Take note, this is 100 cm. 100 cm is 1 meter. Everything else is meter. So this is 1 meter from tiang B. So if it's 1 meter from tiang B, it must be 9 meter from tiang A. Yeah, because this 9 is measured from the x-axis, y-axis as horizontal. So what we can do is we can sub x with 9. So this is 10/49 bracket 9. Wait, it's not 9, it's 6, sorry. It's not 10 because it's 7 here. 7 minus 1 is 6, sorry. Seen wrongly, this is 6. So let's put 6 inside, minus 7/2 square plus 15/2. Okay, now use your calculator. Okay, very ugly number though. 10/49, open bracket, 6 minus 7/2, close bracket, square, plus 15/2. Okay, this answer is 430/49. 430/49. You can change your decimal because number a bit not nice, right? 8.776. Yeah, 8.776. This is a height measure from the horizontal ground. 8.776. Yeah. Okay. Now next, let's look at the last part. Jika cuaca menjadi lebih panas, dapati bahawa wayar elektrik telah menjadi lebih kendur daripada kedudukan asal dan memberi kesan perubahan kepada persamaan wayar elektrik berbentuk vertex. Apa yang tidak berubah? So here's the thing: if you, when how would I say, when the weather becomes hotter, right? So it's heated, so it becomes the wire will actually sag downwards like this. Yeah, it move downwards a bit, right? When it's hot, it tend to expand. When it's cold, it tend to contract, right? So what actually happened is that your minimum point will now shift downwards, right? If you shift your minimum point downwards, right, your this value will change. Your A will actually change as well. But one thing doesn't change is your axis of symmetry, right? Your axis of symmetry remains unchanged. So we say, okay, let's read the question again. Apa yang tidak berubah? We say B equation, or should I say the axis of symmetry. Okay. Or we can say in bahasa, paksi symmetry. Ya, paksi symmetry tidak berubah. Okay. Okay, question number 5. This is from trigonometry. Okay, you're supposed to prove or buktikan bahwa 1 minus cos 2x minus sin 2x divide sin x minus cos x is 2 sin x. Okay, I'm going to write in English version. So the difference is the cos is K in bahasa, in English is C, right? You can write in bahasa, of course. This is LHS, left-hand side. Okay, even you don't want to write this is fine. Yeah, we don't have to write that left-hand side. Okay, formula for cos 2x, there are 3 versions. So we would choose the one involving sine. Why? Because the one involving sine has a 1 minus 2 sine square, so that I can subtract the 1 off. I want to get rid of this one, right? If you choose this, the second formula, which is 2 cos square x minus 1, then the minus becomes a plus, so we can get rid of the 1, right? Sine 2x has only one formula, which is 2 sine x cos x, so that makes it easier. My denominator is sine x minus cos x. So 1 minus 1 is actually, you can cancel off, becomes 0. This is 2 sine square x. This is 2 sine x cos x. My denominator is sine x minus cos x. So this is 2 sine square x minus 2 sine x cos x divide by sine x minus cos x. As we can factorize this, we can take out 2, we can take out sine. This will be sine x minus cos x over sine x minus cos x. The good news is we can now cancel these two, and I'm left with 2 sine x, which is the same as my right-hand side. Okay, so this is part A. Part B, we're supposed to sketch a graph, right? Okay, for graph sketching, I'm going to do it over here because I don't have enough space. I'm going to do on my right-hand side here. Let's move this a little bit to the right. Okay. Okay, so the first thing is, notice that the entire thing here is the same as 2 sine x, right? So we can just replace the modulus with 2 sine x close bracket minus 1. Yeah. Okay, we know that basic sine graph, right? It goes up, down, down, up. And if you have a 2 in front, the amplitude is 2. Yeah, this is y equals to 2 sine x from 0 to 2 pi. Now, this is before you modulus. The moment you modulus, what happens is that this graph is now reflected up. So it goes 1. The bottom part here, reflect up. So this is 2, right? Up here. This is modulus 2 sine x. Then you have a plus 1. Yeah. Sorry, this is a plus 1. I wrote this wrongly. This is plus 1. So that means we're going to take the whole graph and shift it up by 1. So when you shift up by 1, your maximum is 3. Yeah, not 2, 3. So let's go a bit higher. 3, 2, 1. There's a 0 here. We draw this dotted line because I'm shifting the whole thing up by 1. Okay, for me, when you draw this, please use a ruler, divide evenly. Yeah, or at least if you even use a rough sketch, yeah, divide evenly. Yep, so it's easier for us to map the point. So starting from this point, we go up to here, down here, up here, down here. All right, so please use a 2B pencil, make it thicker, right? So you can hide all the ugliness, right? So it goes up. Okay, you may have to do a couple of times and down and up and down. All right, so this is good, right? Okay, really, you can hide your ugliness if you use sticker pencil, right? Don't use mechanical pencil, please. Okay, now, next, we are going to use the same exercise dengan menggunakan paksi yang sama, lakarkan graf garis lurus yang sesuai untuk mencari bilangan penyelesaian bagi this persamaan. Now, look at this equation here. We're going to divide everything by 3 pi. Why I know how to do 3 pi? Because this is 2 sine x. This is 6 pi sine x. 6 pi to get to 2, I must divide by 3 pi. Okay, so when you divide everybody by 3 pi, so I'm not going to copy the question. I'm just going to continue writing here, divide by 3 pi. So this becomes modulus 2 sine x plus 1. Why plus 1? 3 pi divided 3 pi is 1. And 3x divided by 3 pi is x over pi. Yeah, 3x divided by 3 pi, cancel the 3, left with x over pi. So your left-hand side is the graph that we have already drawn. The right-hand side is another straight line that we have to draw to find the number of solution. So the easiest way to draw a straight line is to use 2 points. Yeah, we take the first point, x equals 0, the smallest value. The largest value, I take 2 pi. Now imagine if I sub 0 inside here, I'll get 0. If I put 2 pi inside here, I get 2. So this is my first point. Let me use a different color, 0, 0, 2 pi, and 2. Now, if you want to be sure, you can take a third point. Let's say I take a third point, pi. I should get 1. So I know this line here should pass through this. Oops. One more time. It should pass through this point here and continue here, right? So this is y equals to x over pi. And this black graph is y equals modulus 2 sine x plus 1. So based on the graph, we're supposed to cari bilangan penyelesaian, number of solution. The number of solution is the number of intersection between these two graphs, because these two graphs, they meet at this point. They share the same x value and the same y value. So they meet here and here, right? So you don't actually have to circle it out. So bilangan penyelesaian or number of solution is just 2. All right. Okay, next one is from progression. Janjang diberi hasil tambah sebutan kedua dan ketiga bagi suatu janjang geometri ialah 30. Sebutan kedua is T2, second term. Sebutan ketiga is T3, third term. Geometry progression 30. Right, manakala sebutan kedua ialah 9 kurang dari sebutan pertama. Sebutan kedua is T2, is 9 less than sebutan pertama. Sebutan pertama is T1, 9 less means you minus 9. For example, your first term is 10, 10 minus 9. The second term is 1, right? So here we're going to form 2 equations and solve them simultaneously because we need to find sebutan pertama dan nisbah sepunya. Nisbah sepunya is your common ratio. So your T2 is AR, your T3 is AR squared. Remember, Tn is ARn minus 1. The result is 30. Okay, we can factorize this, take out A, take out R, 1 plus R. This will be first equation. So for this one, right, it's better for me to arrange in the same order. So I'm going to bring my T2 to the right, 9 to the left. So T1 minus T2 is 9. A minus AR is 9. I think we can factorize this. A1 minus R equals to 9, equation number 2. Okay, the reason why I factorize like this because I want to divide so that I can cancel out my A, right? By taking equation 1, divide equation 2, AR, 1 plus R, divide by A, 1 minus R. The result is 30 divided by 9, right? Okay, we can cancel them here. I think we can cross out this, divide by 3, I get 10, divide by 3, I get 3. Then this A, I can cancel with A. The R, I cannot do anything. I can't cancel it. So I'm going to cross multiply, do a bit slower here. 3R, 1 plus R. This is now 10, 1 minus R. Expand the bracket. 10, 10R, 3R squared plus 13R minus 10 equals 0. Double bracket, factorize. 3 times 10 is 30. I should use 15 and 3. Yeah? I should use 15 and 3. So, okay, sorry. 15 and 2, not 15 and 3. 15 and 2. 15 minus 2 is 13. This is 15. This is 2. 15 should be positive. Your minus 2, yeah, negative. So my R here is 2 over 3 or negative 5. Now read the question carefully. They say, semua sebutan dalam jujukan ini adalah positif. All the terms are positive. So we take R equals to 3, ignore negative 5. And then you sub inside, let's say, equation 2, find your first term A. A, 1 minus 2 over 3 is now 9. This is 1 over 3. 1 over 3 times it over A is 27. So I got my first term and I got my common ratio. So sebutan pertama dan nisbah sepunya. All right, this is only part A. Part B. Determine whether tentukan sama ada 150 over 81 ialah suatu sebutan dalam janjang ini atau tidak. So to know whether it's a part of the progression, we just let Tn equals to 150 over 81. If you can solve for integer value and meaning is part of your progression. For example, if your n is 7, that means we know it's a 7th term. But if your n is 7.27 or 7.85, whatever decimal, that means it's not part of the progression because there's no, the 8th term, the 7th term and 8th term is not exactly the same as this, right? So we know our A, 27, we know our R, 2 over 3, n minus 1, 150 over 81. Now use your calculator, take 150 over 81, oops, 150 over 81, then you divide by 27. So you should get 50 over 729. So 2 over 3 n minus 1 is now 50 over 729. Now, to solve for n, we can just introduce logarithm. Put the log on the left, log on the right, bring the power n down, n minus 1 down, 2 over 3 here. This is lg or log base 10, 50 over 729. Now use your calculator, shift log over here. This is your log, the buttons on this side. 50 over 729. Oops. Then you divide by shift log 2 over 3, right? So whatever you get here, you need to plus 1. My n is 7.609. 7.609, which is not an integer. So we know that this is not a term in the progression. Or you can say in bahasa, bukan suatu sebutan dalam janjang. Yeah, just copy this, suatu sebutan dalam janjang. Okay, as long as it's not an integer, we know it's not part of the term in the progression. Okay, question number 7. This is integration, pengamiran. So Raja menunjukkan sebahagian lengkung y equals to square root x plus 4. Cari kawasan, luas kawasan below it. So you can see from the diagram, if you're given a shaded region here, I think we have to take the bigger one, which is a trapezium here, minus the smaller one, which is your area of your integration. Okay, before you find the area of trapezium, we need to know the coordinate here. We know this is 4. We sub x equals to 4, find your y, okay? Your y will be square root 4 plus 4. Square root 4 is 2, 2 plus 4, your y is 6. So this is 6. Okay, I can see that this measurement here, this height here is 6. This is 22, and this is 4. So your area, you should take area of trapezium, which is half sum of parallel sides times height. minus integration. So the integration here is from 0 to 4, right? 0 to 4. The function is square root x. Square root, I think we'll just write this as x power half plus 4 dx. My lower limit is 0, upper limit is 4. Okay, so we can calculate this. 22 plus 6 is 28. 28, you divide by 2 is 14. 14 times 4, 56. Now, for the second part here, when you integrate x power half, you increase the power by 1. Half plus 1 is 3/2. You divide by 3/2. When you integrate 4 is 4x. Lower limit 0, upper limit 4. So this is 5/6 here. I think we can take this and flip upside down, becomes 2/3. Substitute 4 inside, 4 power 3/2 plus 4 times 4 minus, when you sub 0 inside, the whole thing becomes 0. Okay, so this one you can count, quite easy. Well, I think I'm going to use a calculator. 2 over 3, it's easier to show you here. 4 power 3/2, basically this is 8 actually. Yeah, you square root 4 is 2, 2 power 3 is 8. Then I will plus 4 times 4, 16. Now you can just write 16. So this answer is still 16, right? I hope I didn't make any mistake here. Wait, sorry. I think I missed out a 2. I added a bracket at the wrong place, right? The 2/3, it should be, there's no bracket here, sorry. Remove the bracket. Yep, it's a multiply. Your answer is 64/3, right? 64/3. Use your calculator. Take 56 minus this answer. Yep, 104/3 or 34/2/3. Yeah, 34/2/3. Okay, by the way, you can use your calculator to validate this answer. I hope you all know this already by now, that we can integrate. Say I want to find out x power half or square root x. Then you plus 4, right? Lower limit 0, upper limit 4. There you go. 21.33. Well, the 21.333 is actually your 64 divided by 3. Yeah, 21.333. Yeah, so I know my answer is correct. So this is your area in square unit. Okay, next. Kirakan isi padujanaan dalam sebutan pi bila rantau yang dibatasi oleh lengkung garis lurus y equals to 6 and paksi y dikitarkan 360 degree melalui 360 degree pada paksi y. So I'm now going to take this region. They say rantau di batasi, region bounded by the curve. Dibatasi oleh lengkung, y equals 6, y equals 6 is this line, right? And paksi y. Paksi y is your y-axis. So that means the region that we're talking about is this, the yellow one here. When you rotate 360 degree about the y-axis, the shape looks like this. Actually, you don't have to sketch this. Just want to show you that the region is up to here. But when you rotate about the y-axis, remember we need to make x as a subject. So your y is square root x plus 4. Square root x is y minus 4. When you square this, your x itself is y minus 4 squared, right? And since you're finding the volume, volume is pi x squared dy, your x itself has a y minus 4. Then you square it further dy. Now, let's figure out the limit. We know that the lower limit is this at x-axis. At y-axis, x is 0. Your y will be just 4. Imagine put 0 inside here. Your y is 4, so lower limit is 4, upper limit 6. Right? Now, let us take out the pi. And before we integrate, let us square this first. Y minus 4 power 2 becomes power 4 dy. When we integrate, yeah, when we kamirkan, we increase the power by 1. This is 5. Divide by 5. Differentiate, bezakan, yeah, inside the bracket. I hope you remember the formula. When you integrate kax plus b power n dx, yeah, sorry for the ugly handwriting. This is x here. This copy your k, copy ax plus b, increase the power by 1, divide by the increased power. Whatever inside the bracket is ax, I differentiate ax, you get a plus C. But so happen this A is 1, so this is 1 here. If you don't write the 1, is okay. Lower limit 4, upper limit 6. Take out pi over 5, right? Put 6 inside. 6 minus 4 power 5. 4 minus 4 power 5. Okay, 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 power 5 is 32. The other one is 0. 32 divided by 5 is 6205. You can leave it in mixed number or improper fraction, and is unit cube. Okay, next question, linear law, hukum linear. So, jadual menunjukkan nilai-nilai bagi dua pemboleh X dan Y yang diperoleh daripada suatu eksperimen. Pemboleh X dan Y dihubungkan oleh persamaan Y equals to S over R root of X dengan keadaan RS ialah pemalar. So, we're supposed to plot log 10 Y melawan log 10 X menggunakan skala 2 cm to 0.2 on the horizontal and 2 cm to 0.1 on the vertical paksi log 10 Y. Okay, so to plot the graph, first of all, we get to recalculate all your the table values. Yeah, so okay, let's see. I need to start off from here. We will take log, press. I'll just take logarithm this log 1.6. Okay, 0.2. Okay, you can actually make your life easier by setting the decimal point on your calculator. Shift menu, go to number format. Number 3, just fix the decimal to 2, right? Normally 2 decimal point will do that. So one more time, you go to shift menu, number 3, number format, go to number 1, fix, pick the number decimal point, I put 2 decimal point. So for example, the first one, log 1.6, it will round off for us 0.2. So I'm going to write over here because I don't want to do too much work. I'm going to write over here LGX, LGY, my LGX 0.20. Then we go on with 2.6. The next one is 2.6, 0.41. Okay. Next one, log 4. I think it's 0.6. Yeah, 0.6. Log 8 should be 0.9. I cannot remember this. 0.9, log 16, right? Just change to 16. 1.2, log 21. This is 21. There you go. 1.32. Okay, let's move on to the Y value. 1.4. Log 1.4. This will be 0.15. Okay, log 2 is 0.3. Yeah, I can show you here. Log 2 is 0.3. Next, log 2.7. This will be 0.43. Log 3.9. 3.9. 0.59. Log 6.3. 0.80. Log 7.9. 7.9. I got 0.9. Yep. Okay, so here we're supposed to plot using the scale 0.2 for the horizontal. So this is 0, 0.2. Okay, before we do that, I want to show you how to use your calculator to find out gradient and y-intercept, because this calculator, yeah, even a silver one can do that. I'm going to show you this calculator for now. Well, if you want to clear this fixing decimal pointing, you can just go to Shift 9 to reset, press 3, reset all, press equals. Then you go to menu, go to number 6 for statistic, go to number 2, a plus bx. This is the linear law function. You see the x and the y. Let's key in all the x value first, 0.2, 0.41, 0.6, 0.9, 1.2, 1.32. Okay, then you go on with the y value, 0.15, 0.3, 0.43, 0.59, 0.8, 0.9. Okay, then you press AC. Now, then you go to option here, OPTN. option. Go to number 3, regression calculator. So you notice that the calculator actually calculates this A, B, and R here. A represent your y-intercept. In this case, 0.025. I think we can just read 0.03. Let me write here. Your A is your y-intercept, 0.025. You can think 0.03 lah. Yeah. All right. Then how about your B? 0.65, 6518. B represent a gradient, 0.6518, 0.665 will do. Okay, let's just counter check. Just in case I made any mistake, you go to option, go to number 4 for data, C check 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.9. Okay, all good. Yeah, 0.9, 0.8. Yeah, it's all okay. Yeah? So I know that if you use your graph, you should get this as your y-intercept and this your gradient around 0.65. Okay, so let's just take 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1.0, 1.2, 1.4. Now we don't need more than that because the largest value I have is 1.32. Okay, I'm going to draw my horizontal axis here. Okay. Let me just adjust the line a bit, zoom in a bit. Okay, around here. Very hard to get a nice position. 1 and a bit higher, 2. Okay. Okay, I think this is fine. Okay, so this is my LGX. Okay, for vertical, we use 0.1, 0.2. Let me just zoom out a bit. 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. The largest is 0.9. Okay, this will be my LGY. Okay, let me draw my axis again. Okay, start from this point, move it up to here. Okay, line is not very nice. It's a bit off. Oops. Okay, I think it's fine. Don't disturb it so much. Okay, so the first point I've got is 0.2, 0.15. 0.2, 0.15, which is here. All right, second point I've got is 0.41, 0.30. 4130. 41 is half. 30 is here. Next one, I've got 0.6, 0.43. 0.643 will be this point. Next, 0.9, 0.59. 0.9, 0.59. 59 will be here. Okay, next one, I got 1.2 and 0.8. 1.2, 0.8 around here. And 1.32, 0.9. 1.32, 0.90. 1.32 is further to the right, a little bit here. Okay, so now the thing is, I know my y-intercept already in advance. Is around 0.25 or 0.3, up to you. I think I can just take 0.3. So I'm going to fix 0.3 here. Yeah, 0.3 here. And we're going to adjust the line. Make sure it passes through as many points as possible. The line of best fit must be a line that passes through as many points as possible. It's balanced, right? The number of points on the left must be the same as the number of points on the right. Yeah. Okay, this is a bit higher. Looks something like this. Okay, I may have to adjust a little bit. Let me see how I can adjust this. Okay. I think, you can see the first point is below, the second point is slightly above, third point on the line, fourth point is below, fifth point is slightly below. 6 points above. I look at it, I think it's quite all right. It's quite all right. Yeah, not. Or maybe can adjust a little bit. I think it's okay lah. Yeah, it's okay. You can adjust a little bit lower if you want. Yeah, because of this point. This point here is a bit lower, but this point is higher, so it balances out, right? So, okay, I think it's fine. Yeah. Okay, now let's look at your, this line. I just had to adjust down a little bit. Yeah, doesn't look like it. Okay, this is better now. Okay, now my gradient is 0.65. My y-intercept 0.3, around there, or you can even use 0.25. Okay, so 0.03, yeah, not 0.3, 0.03. Okay, to find the gradient, I need to take 2 points from the graph. Okay, so for me, I'll always take horizontal 5 boxes, because any number divided by 5 is a nice number. So of course, this is the first point, 0 and 0.03. Second point, maybe you count 5 boxes. Read at 10. At 10, it looks like here, this point. This is 10 or 1, 1.0. And horizontally 5 boxes, right? You count 5 boxes, 1.0. And this one looks like 0.675. Yeah, 675. I think it's okay, right? 675. Yeah. Okay. So now let's go back to your graph, to your calculation. Now we need to find two things from the graph. You find the gradient and y-intercept, and then from that gradient y-intercept, we find the value of r and s. Now we know the equation, the original equation is given like this, right? So we're going to introduce log on both sides of the equation. So let me do it here. Lg y is now Lg s over root r root of x. Okay, so let's just split this. Lg y equals to Lg s minus Lg, this is x power 1 over r. Bring the power 1 over r in front. So it's negative 1 over r Lgx plus Lgs. This is your big Y. This is your gradient. This is your big X. And this is your C. So when you plot log Lgy versus Lgx, the gradient is negative 1 over r. The y-intercept is s. Okay, so let's find the gradient. The gradient from the graph. Just now I used the coordinate 0, 0.003, and 1 and 0.675. So let's take 0.675 minus 0.003 divide 1.0 minus 0. Okay, see, let's see. Well, mode, go back to 1. 0.675 minus 0.003. Yeah, this will be divided by 1. Actually, divided by 1, you get 0.67. Okay, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I should, maybe I should use 0.0. I supposed to get 0.65. This is closer. Okay, I think I may have to do some adjustment because my answer is quite far off. You can see 0.0. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. Sorry. This is 0.03. I put 1 extra decimal. No wonder. Yeah. This should be 0.645. Okay, 645. Which is not too far away. 645, because my actual answer is 0.65. Yeah, my actual answer is 0.65, but I got 645, which is fine. Right? Which is fine. Okay, so I don't need to change anything in my graph, right? But if you find it's a bit far off, then you probably have to adjust a bit, because just now I fixed my y-intercept 0.03. I know my y-intercept about 0.025 or 0.03. I just have to adjust my lines to make sure it passes through as many points as possible. Okay, I got my gradient, and my gradient is the same as my 1 over r value. So negative 1 over r is 0.645. 4, 5. To find R, we just invert this. Take 1 over this answer. This will be 1.55 over negative 1.550. Okay, for your y-intercept, we know from the graph 0.03 is your y-intercept. LG S is 0.03. S will be, use your calculator, shift log 0.03. I got 1.072. Yeah, 1.072. There you go. You got your R value and your S value. Okay, question number 9. This is from the chapter Coordinate Geometry, Geometry Coordinate. Raja 5 menunjukkan titik tiga titik ABC yang masing-masing merupakan titik tengah PQ, right? PQ, QR, PR dan membentuk satu segi empat selari PABC. So PABC is we call it parallelogram in English, segi empat selari. You can see. All right. You're supposed to find persamaan garis lurus PR. Okay, we know PR is parallel to AB. So by finding gradient of AB, we can find gradient of PR. Okay, so gradient of AB will be y2 minus y1 divide x2 minus x1. So this is 4 divided by negative 4. Answer negative 1. Yeah, gradient AB is negative 1. Okay, your gradient PR is the same because they're parallel. Yeah, so it's also negative 1. Yeah, selari. Now, next, we use y equals mx plus c. Since I know my c and my y-intercept is negative 2, my y is therefore negative x minus 2. That is your equation of straight line PR. Okay, PR. Okay, next, persamaan berbagi dua sama serenjang, garis lurus PQ. That means you're drawing a perpendicular bisector PQ. Okay, perpendicular bisector PQ means a line that passes through the midpoint of PQ and perpendicular to PQ. So we already know point A, the midpoint. So we just had to find gradient of PQ. Now, PQ is actually parallel to CB, right? So first we need to find gradient of CB. So gradient of CB or BC will be, let's take y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So this is 1 over 3, yeah? Positive 1 over 3. Now, because the line that you're finding, okay, let me write PB first. PB first. Gradient of PQ first. Gradient of PQ is also 1 over 3 because they're parallel. Because the line that you're finding is this line, the perpendicular bisector is perpendicular to PQ. So we know your M1, which is PQ, times M2, the result must be negative 1. So M2 is the gradient of this perpendicular bisector or persamaan pembagi dua sama serenjang. So this is negative 3. Okay, so to form this equation, again, we use y minus y1. Your y1 you must use coordinate point A because it's passing through point A here, which is 3, gradient negative 3, x minus x1 minus, we put a plus 1 here. Your y minus 3 is now minus 3x minus 3. Cancel them, your y is negative 3x. Okay, negative 3x means that it doesn't pass through, your y-intercept is just 0. You pass through the origin, yeah, asalan. Okay, so it looks something like this. All right, next. Garis lurus PQ dipanjangkan sehingga titik S dengan keadaan PQ PS is 2 to 3. Cari koordinat Q dalam sebutan MN. PQ PS is 2 to 3. Okay, look at the diagram. PQ PS is 2 to 3. That means this is 2. The whole thing is 3. That means your QS is 1. Now, a lot of people tend to use the ratio formula. We can't use a ratio formula, the nx1, mx2, m plus n. Remember that? We can't use that because we don't know what's B. But we do know A is a midpoint. So if we know A is a midpoint, that means if this ratio is 2, this should be 1 and 1. This is 2, right? This is 1 and 1 because this 2 midpoint of PQ is A. So in this case, simply means Q is the midpoint of AS. Okay, so let me write over here. This is B. All right. Q is midpoint or titik tengah, midpoint of AS. So we're supposed to find Q in terms of M and N. Your A is -1. Your part add with M, divide by 2. 3, add with N, divide by 2. There you go. That is your answer. Okay. All right. Lastly, cari luas segitiga ABC. Seterusnya cari luas segitiga PQR. Okay, if you look at this, your ABC is a smaller triangle inside. ABC is this. Correct? And we can find this area. Fairly simple, right? We just use the formula for area of triangle, right? The shoestring method. Yeah, if you like. So this is ABC first, right? ABC. ABC is half. Let me go in. You can clockwise, anti-clockwise, doesn't matter. But clockwise, you get negative. Arah jama, you get negative. Anti-clockwise, you get positive. So maybe I use anti-clockwise, -1, 3, 0, -2, 3, -1, -1, 3. Yeah, remember to repeat the first point. So let's multiply this. This -1 times -2. 0 times -1 is still 0. 3 times 3. Then multiply up. This is 0. This one you put a negative. You can either put a bracket or you can put the negative for each one. So I don't want to put a negative for each one. I put a bracket here. -2 times 3 -1 times -1. Well, in fact, I prefer to actually count one shot, but then, you know, they say that you need to show your working. So I put a bracket so you understand which one multiply which. So the first one is 2 plus 9 minus open bracket -6. 2 times 3 is 6. Minus is a +1. This will give us 16. Half of 16, you divide by 2. This area is 8. ABC is 8. Yeah. However, because we know that if this is a parallelogram, right, meaning this blue part is the same as the yellow part. All right. And because this is the midpoint, see, these two are equal length, meaning this red part or the pink part is also the same shape, the same area. And since it's also a midpoint, so they're all midpoint, this is a midpoint, meaning this green part also has the same area. So in short, the ABC is 1/4 of PQR, or should I say area of PQR is 4 times of ABC. So 4 times 8, 32 square unit. Okay, the next question number 10. Raja menunjukkan suatu binaan yang terdiri daripada sebuah segi bulatan, 2 buah sukuan bulatan, dan sebuah segi 4 tepat. Ya, 2 semicircle, 1 semicircle, 2 quarter of a circle, and a rectangle. So they are given a measurement here. Panjang lebar segi 4 tepat masing-masing ialah 2y and x, and perimeter binaan is 100 cm. So you're supposed to tunjukkan luas binaan diberi oleh this, okay? Area of the diagram. Okay, we know this is 2y. That means the diameter is 2y, radius is 1y. Since this is a quarter of a circle, this is also 1y, this also 1y. And since this is x, this part is also x, this is also y, this part is also x. Since this is y and y, add together total is 4y. So for me, I will take this as join together 1 semicircle plus 2 quarter of circle to make it 1 circle. As for the other one, the rectangle, I will take this as 4y and height as x. So this semicircle here and the 2 quarter of circle, they all have radius of y. So we know that area or luas is area of circle pi y squared, because your radius is y, plus 4y times x. So this is your first equation. You need a second equation because you need to give your answer in terms of y. That means there's no x. So this is where you use a perimeter. Perimeter is 100. Now perimeter for a circle here, okay, you cannot count from here because you need to count this one, and this one. That means you have to count one circumference, right? So circumference, your perimeter is lilitan, panjang lilitan, 2 pi r, your r is y, your radius is y. Then you add with this side here. You can see this side, you have 4y, this is 4y. Add 2 more y on the side and 2 more x on the side. So is, can I write 6y straight away? 6y plus 2x, and your perimeter is 100. Now here I need to make x as a subject because I want my answer in terms of y. I must give you of x, yeah? We bring everything to the right-hand side. 2x equals to 100 minus 2 pi y minus 6y. Divide by 2, this is 50 minus pi y minus 3y. Yeah, equation number 2. Sub equation 2 inside equation 1. Your L is pi y squared plus 4y. Your x is 50 minus pi y minus 3y. Okay, so we can expand this. This is pi y squared plus 200y minus 4 pi y squared minus 12y squared. Okay, we can subtract your pi y squared and minus 4 pi y squared. You get minus 3 pi y squared minus 12y. Now notice that your final answer is in this form, where they actually factorize your y. Take out the y. So we can take out your y, left with 200 minus 3 pi minus 12y. This one is a y square. Okay, there you go. You got your L in terms of y. All right, very long. Next, cari nilai y dengan keadaan L adalah maksimum, seterusnya cari nilai maksimum L. Okay, so I think we use this is better. This part here, we differentiate dl dy. So when you differentiate, get 200, bring the power down, 6 pi y, 12 times 2, 24y. Remember, today if I were to sketch this graph is probably a maximum quadratic function like this. Okay, where this is L versus y. Okay, and it has a maximum value. That maximum value happens when the gradient of the graph L versus y, the gradient is called dl dy, when the gradient is 0. So we already differentiate dl dy. We let dl dy be 0. For me, I will take out the negative here, 6 pi plus 24, right? Yeah, put the y here, divide them, 6 pi plus 24, bracket y is 200, find your y. Now let's use a calculator. Take 200 divide 6, use pi is 3.142, and then plus 24, my answer is 4.667. 4.667. It is given here, pi equals 3.142. Okay, now you got your y. You got a y, yeah? They say find the value of y, hence find the maximum value of y, yeah? Cari nilai maximum L, maximum L. So your maximum L, we can take your y value sub inside here or here, doesn't matter. I think I sub inside the second one is easier. 4.667, 200 minus 3 pi minus 12, 4.667. Okay. Well, I think I missed a y here previously. Yeah? There's another y here, minus 12y. I missed a y here, sorry. So there's another 4.667 minus 12, 4.667. Okay, very long because of this whole bracket. Okay, cool. So let's just type this in. Okay, now one thing I hope you know that you can use your calculator answer button. I don't want to type so many steps, so I type answer. Just now I got my 4.67, right? I just key in answer, open bracket, 200 minus pi 3.142 times answer minus 12 times answer. You can just type answer next to it. Close bracket equals 603. Yeah. Okay. I don't know whether I make any mistake here. 4.667, 3 pi. 3 pi 200. 603, 4662. Maybe I made a mistake. 3 pi. Okay, I forgot a 3 here. There's a 3 here. There's a 3 here. 3 times. Okay, one more time. 4.667 is your answer. You press answer, open bracket, 200, open bracket, 200 minus 3 times pi, 3.142. Answer minus 12 answer, close bracket, equals 466.72. Yeah, 466.72. So that is your maximum area. Okay, lastly, diberi jari semi bulatan meningkat pada kadar 0.7 apabila binaan itu dipanaskan. Cari kadar perubahan jari. Okay, I don't know whether I think I do it here lah. More space here. Cari kadar perubahan loss binaan ketika jari semi bulatan ialah 12. Okay, so we want to find the rate when your y is 12. When your y is 12, let's first find out your dl dy. Sub inside here. 200 minus bracket 6 pi plus 24. Your y is 4.667. Okay, use a calculator. Find the rate of change of area for dl dy for every unit change in your radius L. So 200 minus 3.142 plus 24. Then you multiply by 4.667. So this value is, wow, very small value. 0. Okay, did I make a mistake here? 200 minus 6 pi plus 12 plus 24 times y. Wow, this is very small. Y is 4.667. I should get 3 point something. Maybe I made a mistake somewhere. 200 one more time minus bracket 6 times 3.142 plus 24 times your y. Your y is 4.667. There you go, small value. Yeah. Okay, I sub in the wrong value of y. Your y is 12 here. I wrote wrongly. This is 12. You're finding your dl dt when y is 12. So just change this to 12. There you go. Very ugly number though. Negative 3.314.22. 314.22. Okay, because you're finding the rate of change of your radius, you're finding kadar perubahan, rate of change of your area, kadar perubahan luas binaan. So you're finding dl dt. We know our dy dt. They say jejari meningkat dengan kadar 0.7. That means your dy dt, rate of change of radius, is 0.7. So we're going to use what we call the chain rule. Put the dl here, put the dt here, add in a dy, add the dy. So your dl dy is negative 314.22. Your dy dt is 0.7. So let's multiply together. Negative 314.22 times 0.7, 219.96, 9596, negative 219.95. Okay. So this unit, if you want to write the unit, it'll be cm square per second. Okay. If you don't write, it's okay. Okay, question number 11. Okay, so this is from the chapter probability distribution, taburan kebarangkalian. So jisim turang yang dihasilkan dari sebuah ladang bertabur secara normal, mean or average 1.2 kg. Kebarangkalian sebiji durian dipilih secara rawak. The probability durian chosen randomly by jisim kurang dari 2 kg is 0.9452. So, okay, they say jika seorang pekerja memilih 5 biji durian secara rawak, ya, cari kebarangkalian semua 5 biji durian jisim kurang daripada 2. Okay, so this is a confusing part. The starting part says is a normal distribution, but this part is actually a binomial because we are choosing from how many? 5 durian. And what is x? X is the probability, is the event of choosing the number, is you're choosing number of durian that have mass less than 2 kg. Yeah, jisim kurang 2 kg is 0.9452. Okay, so this is your n, this is your p. So it's a binomial. Okay, and you want to find the probability that all 5 durian have mass less than 2 kg. So we say p x all 5, p is x equals 5. Remember, binomial formula is n c x. In this case is 5. P is probability of choosing one durian with mass less than 2 kg, power 5. And your q, if this is your p, your q will be 1 minus 0.9452, which is 0.0548. You can't do mentally use a calculator, power 0. So it's basically 9452 power 5. Yeah, you don't actually have to use the binomial formula actually. This is 9452 power 5. There you go, 0.7455. Yeah, 0.7544, not 7455, 7544. Okay, next, this is the first part. Second part. 4 orang pekerja yang lain juga ditugaskan masing-masing memilih secara rawak 5 biji durian. So, cara kebarangkalian lebih daripada 2 pekerja memilih ke-5 biji durian mempunyai jisim kurang dari 2 kg. Okay, this one is very confusing. So, it's what we call a two-stage binomial. This is one worker choose 5 durian. The chances that you choose all 5 durian less than 2 kg is this. Okay, now you're choosing, you have how many workers? You got 4 different workers, right? So each one of them is tasked to choose 5 durian. And you want to find memilih ke-5 biji durian jisim kurang daripada 2 kg. That means what's the chances of getting, for each worker, what's the chance of getting 5 durian less than 2 kg? Each 0.7544. Okay, we're using the result from part A. Now you want to find the probability that the question say how many? Cara kebarangkalian with lebih dari 2 orang pekerja, more than 2 worker. Out of 4 worker, more than 2 we get all 5 durian with mass less than 2 kg. So more than 2 means 3 or 4. Okay, so we can add them together. Probability of 3 will be 5 choose 3, p power 3, q power 2. Okay, then you add 5c4, p power 4, q power 1. Okay, for a question like this, actually you can use your calculator. I want to show you how to use your calculator to count. Okay, like for example, part A. I show you part A first. Menu, you go to menu, go to 7, go to number 4 for binomial PD. So go to number 2 for variable. So for example, x is 5. Okay, I'm doing part A. Yeah? My n is also 5. My probability is 0.9452, right? You should get 7544. Okay, so this part A is if you're finding exactly the exact value, like x equals 2, x equals 3. But if you want to find multiple value, right, like part B, you have 2 ways to do it. Number 1, we can use binomial PD as well, like just now. Go to number 4, but instead of finding one single value. We find multiple value. So you go to number 1, list. I want 3 and 4. So I put 3 here. I put 4 here. Then I press equals. My n is now 4. My p is 0.7544. I press equals. Can you see there are two values? 4218, 0.4218. Then you add the next one, 0.3239. 0.3239. So we add them up. Yeah, let me use another calculator. 0.4218 add 0.3239. You should get 0.7457. 0.7457. Now, this is one way. Another way is we can use the binomial CD. CD means cumulative. With the mode, 7 for distribution. The replay button go down, go to number 1 for binomial CD. Then you go to 2 for variable. Okay, CD simply means we calculate from 0 up to a number. So in this case, I want more than 2. More than 2, we can use 1 minus less equals to 2. So we let x be 2. Okay, your n is still 4. Your probability is still 0.7544. So you press equals. Then you can do mentally, if not use a calculator, take 1 minus 0.2543. Now notice you get the same answer, right? This answer is still 7457, right? So it's easier than type in a calculator because you type the calculator one by one, yeah, a lot of brackets you have to open and close and so on, right? Okay, so this part A and B, they're all binomial. Part C is a normal distribution. Okay, so first, sebiji durian telah dipilih dari ladang, so cari sisihan piawai. Okay, so actually they don't have to mention mempunyai jam kurang dari 2 kg because we know that durian, they are normally distributed, right? With the mean of 1.2, but we do not know what's the standard deviation, what's the sisihan piawai. So we know that the probability that your x is more than 2 kg, is it more than 2 kg? Less than 2 kg, sorry, is now 0.9452. Remember, this is normal distribution now. Normal distribution, we have to, number 1, standardize your x value. So 2 minus mean 1.2 divide by standard deviation, which I don't know, my standard deviation, 9452. This is z less than 0.8 over sigma equals 9452. Okay, what we need is, maybe I draw a sketch for you. This is your 0.8 over sigma, right? Less than is this area. But remember, my mathematical table can only find the upper tail, right? So I'm actually finding the right-hand side here. Okay, should I use a color? Yeah. Okay, we know this is the left-hand side. So I need to change this z to more than 0.8 over sigma. So mentally, can we do 1 minus? 1 minus this is 0.0548. Okay, for 0.48, here we got to work backwards. So I suggest you use this calculator if you have this. Yeah, it's a lot easier. Yeah, this is 0.0548. So we go to menu, go to 7 for distribution, go to number 3 for inverse normal. Okay, so actually from here you have 2 options because your calculator read from the negative infinity. Your calculator actually read the left-hand side. So if you key in the area as 0.9452, it will give us a positive value, 1.559, 1.6. That means your 0.8 over sigma is 1.6. Your sigma is therefore 0.8 divided 1.6, 0.5. Now, if you don't want to do that, let's say you want to use the right-hand side, your area, you got to key in 0.0548, right? Equals. Now here we got the negative. We just have to drop the negative because your mathematical table cannot read, your mathematical table is based on right-hand side. Your calculator is on the left-hand side. So if you read 0.0548 here, naturally you give us a negative 1.6. So we just drop the negative, okay? Because this is on the right-hand side. All right, so your sigma is 0.5. Okay, next terusnya cari kebarangkalian berat lebih 1.5 kg. So find X more than 1.5. So this one we can now standardize 1.5 minus 1.2. Use the sigma from the first part, which is 0.5. This 0.3 divided 0.5, that gives us 0.6. So this one is very easy. It's on the right-hand side. I would like you guys to, if you have a calculator, of course, use this calculator because it's a lot easier. Press menu, go to 7 for distribution, right? Go to number 2 for normal. Your lower is 0.6 lower limit. Upper limit, it goes to infinity. Yeah, that we can't type infinity, so you put 999. Your standard deviation is 1. Your mean is 0. If you move down, you can see your mean is 0 because it's a standard normal distribution. It's a z value. So your probability is 0.2743. Yeah, 0.2743. Okay, that's all. Okay, question number 12. Jadual menunjukkan maklumat berkaitan 4 bahan utama dan kuantiti yang digunakan oleh Encik Rahim untuk membuat kuih bingkah. Okay, so cari nilai bagi X dan Y. So X is your harga, indeks harga, or price index for tepung ubi. So we should just write X equals price in the year 2022, harga pada tahun 2002, divide by price in year 2021, multiply by 100. Yeah, very simple. Price index, we just use 6 ringgit, divide 480 times 100. Index harga is 125. Okay, for Y, Y is the price or harga pada tahun 2021. So we take the price in 2022, divide by the price Y in 2021, times 100, you get 109. So to find Y, I will take 3 times 100, divide by 109. Okay, so this answer is, if you change the decimal, 2 ringgit 75 cent, 2.75. Okay, you don't have to put RM because the RM is already written here. This price in RM, yeah, it's already there. Okay, next one. Indeks perubahan bagi kos penghasilan sebuah kotak kuih bingka pada tahun 2022 berasaskan tahun 2021 ialah 116, 119. So cari nilai bagi M. So what we can do is we take the individual price index, this is 125, multiply with the quantity yang digunakan, this is your weightage. But in this case, I can't simplify the weightage because I do not know what is the value of M. In fact, I'm finding the value of M. Remember, index perubahan, in this case, is 116. We can calculate by taking the price index, multiply with the individual weightage. The first weightage is 150. Second one, 109 times 150. Third, 105 times 100. Next, 120 times M. Divide your total weightage, 150 plus 150 plus 100 plus M. The result is 116. So add together. Okay, so let me just use this calculator. 125 times 150 plus 109 times 150. And then 105 times 100. So 45600. So 120M plus 45600 divide M plus, this is 400. The result equals 16. Okay, now you can do manually. Okay, you can use your calculator to actually solve this. I'll show you how to use a calculator. So you can take 120, X is here, the top right, plus 45600, divide X plus 400. Then you move it on to here, shift equals 116. Then press shift, solve, X equals, your X is 200. Yeah, so it's so easy to use. Yeah, but well, if you want to show working, we can just do manually 45600 equals 116m plus 116 times 100. Let me write here 116 times 400. That would be 464. 46400. So we bring this over. 120 minus 116 is 4m. 46400 minus 45600. That will be 800, right? Yep, 800 divided by 4. M is still 200, right? You see, 200. Okay, I've got my M already. Now, next. Kenaikan kos penghasilan sebiji kuih bingkai pada tahun 2023 dari tahun 2022 adalah sama dengan kenaikan harga kos penghasilan sebiji kuih bingkai dari tahun 21 hingga pada tahun 22. So first of all, you can see if we increase at the same rate dengan kadar yang sama, so we know that there are 3 years involved, 21, 22, 23. The composite index or index perubahan is the overall increment in the ingredient, the cost, the baking cost, which is 116. So when you increase this from 21, 22 by 116, and you increase at the same rate, so this is also 116. So to calculate the overall increment, we can use what we call the chain rule, right? So we take 116 times 116 divide by 100. Okay, let me show you here. Maybe use this calculator. 116 square, 16 times 116 square divided by 100. That will be 134.56. Yeah, 134.56. So 134.56. Okay, I hope you all know this chain rule formula. This is like a shortcut to calculate your overall price increase. We just take this index, multiply with this index, divide by total 100. Okay, so that means that the cost has gone up by 34.56% over 2 years, from 21 to 23. Then they say that harga kos biji kuih bingka pada tahun 2021 ialah RM11. Alright, so we want to find the harga jualan jika Encik Rahim ingin mendapat keuntungan sebanyak 25%. Okay, so first of all, you have to understand your cost has gone up. In 2021, the cost is RM11. In 2023, I do not know what's the cost, but we know the cost has gone up by 34.56%, right? So first we calculate the overall, the increment in your costs. Let's take 134.56 times 11 divide 100. That will give us 14 ringgit 80 cents. Yeah, so the cost has gone up by 14 ringgit 80 cents. Now, next, we want to find the selling price. Remember, cost plus profit equals selling price. Or in bahasa, cost plus keuntungan, yeah, equals to your harga jualan, right? So to find out the harga jualan or your selling price, we know he has to mark up by 25%. So your harga jualan or your selling price or harga jualan, you take 100% plus 25%, that would be 125. Okay, you multiply with your cost in 2023, 14 ringgit 80 cents. So basically it's 1.25 times 14 ringgit 80 cents, you will get 18 ringgit 50 cents. 18 ringgit 50 cents. Okay. Okay, next one. This is penyelesaian segitiga, solution triangle. So Raja menunjukkan sisi 4 PQRS pada suatu setup mengufuk TSQP ialah sebuah piramid dengan keadaan PQ equals to 10. Right, let me label here PQ is 10, PS equals to 12, T is 5 cm tegak atas P, vertically above point P. So first we find the value of M. Okay, you can see from here, M is on the horizontal means sata mengufuk. So this whole thing is on a flat surface. So it's a triangle that we can find the length of SQ. So, well, SQ is, let me write here, SQ square is now 21 square, use cosine rule plus 19 square minus 2 times 21 times 19.5 cos of the angle in between 64. So let's use a calculator. 21 square plus 19.5 square minus 2 times 21 times 19.5, oops, 19.5 times cos 64. So whatever we get here, we take, this is 462.22. Okay, let me write 462.22, right? And then we take the square root of this. Okay, take the square root of this, 21.50. Yeah, so SQ is 21.50. Okay, but I don't want to find SQ actually. I want to find the value of M. So, but I know I need to use the SQ value later. So you can see what is SQ? SQ is SQ square root M. So if your SQ is square root M, right, which is 21.50, that means what's your M? Your M will be this, isn't it? Your M is 21.50 square. So I think I'll just write M as, yeah, because M, SQ is the square root of M. SQ square is just M, right? So I just write M as this. So I basically answer the question for part A. To find nilai M, we'll just write this, okay? But I need this information later on. So because the second part I'm finding angle RSQ, suited RSQ. Suited RSQ will be this angle here. We can use sine rule. Now we use sine rule when in the event that you know angle, opposite side with one missing information. Your missing information is your angle RSQ, which is what I'm finding. We write sine angle RSQ divide opposite length 19.5 equals sine 64 divide opposite side. Opposite side is SQ. We know is 21.50. Let's use our calculator. Sine 64. Okay, let me use the other calculator. Sine 64 divide 21.5 multiply 19.5. So whatever I get here, shift sign, answer equals 54.61. Yeah, RSQ is 54.61. Okay, I got this already. Next, find luas bagi sata condong STQ. Sata condong means inclined plane, right? So we can, before you find the inclined plane, sata condong, we need to find the length of ST and TQ. Now let's focus on ST. You can see this is 5, this is 12, right? Your ST in this case will be 12 square plus 5 square square root, which is just 13. Okay, as for your TQ, right, we will just use Pythagoras again. 10 square plus 5 square square root of 125. Okay, so I also know the length of SQ already, which is 21.50. I know the length of all three sides. So to find the area, we just use Heron's law, right? Remember Heron's law. First, we have to take the sum of the length of side, which we call it perimeter, right? It's a semi-perimeter. All right. We know ST 13. We know TQ square root 125. We know SQ 21.50. Right? So we know the length of one side, two side, three side. Add together, divide by 2. So 13 plus square root 125 plus 21.50 divide by 2. Okay, let's use a calculator. 13 square root 125 plus 21.5 divide by 2. My answer is this, 22.84, right? If let's say that since this is F40, I think I'll just write 4 as F. Yeah, 4 angka berarti. But if let's say this is like 1 or 3, then I'll write 1 more. Okay, so 22.80. Now let's show you how to, sorry, 840, 84 will do. I want to show you how to use the answer button to calculate this. Remember, Heron's law works like this. Is actually the formula is S minus A, S minus B, S minus C with a big square root over. So I know my S here is 22.84. right? Then we take the difference between this and the first side, which is maybe I start with 13, 22.84. Second side, square root 125. Third side, 22.84 minus 21.50. Okay, so make this line longer. Use your calculator. Now, like I said just now, I can use the answer button. So this is already stored in my calculator. So I'll take square root, answer, open bracket, answer minus 13, close bracket, open bracket again, answer minus square root 125, close bracket, answer minus 21.5, close bracket, press equals. There you go, 59.26. Yeah, 59.26. This is your area, luas bagi sata condong STQ. Okay, next we are finding panjang terdekat dari titik T ke garis lurus SQ. As you can see from here, this is titik T, right? Garis lurus SQ. The panjang terdekat is the shortest distance. The shortest distance from a point to a line is a perpendicular distance. Yeah, jarak terdekat is ialah jarak serenjang. That means this must be 90 degree to it. We can call it N. This is your S. This is your Q. We already know the length of SQ, which is 21.50. We know the area. We just have to find this. We can call it height. Yeah, tinggi is like half times base times height. There are a few ways to find area triangle. Yeah, Heron's law is one, but another way is by using half times base times height. Your base is 21.50. Your height you can write as Tn. You can write H. Doesn't matter, right? Tinggi you can write T for tinggi, and then you find H. Let's take this answer, 59.26 times 2 divide 21.5, and my answer is 5.513. 5.513. There you go. Okay, this is chapter 14, linear programming, Pengaturcaraan linear. So bengkel perabot Ross menghasilkan dua jenis kerusi P dan Q. Penghasilan setiap kerusi melibatkan dua proses, iaitu membuat dan mengecat. So jumlah masa maksimum untuk membuat kedua-dua kerusi ialah 5.5 jam. Okay, now you can see from the table here. This is masa diperlukan untuk membuat, masa diperlukan untuk mengecat. So I need to write 3 inequality. They say tulis 3 ketaksamaan selain x greater ke 0, y greater ke 0 untuk memenuhi semua kekangan. So okay, maybe I write it over here. The total time to make tempo masa untuk membuat, we know 1 kerusi P you need 45 minutes. So you're gonna make how many? You need how many kerusi? Let's see. The question mentioned. Where's the X kerusi? Did I mention X kerusi? Yeah. Yeah. Perabot, they say bengkel perabot Ross menghasilkan X unit kerusi P, Y unit kerusi Q. So this is 45 times X. 1 kerusi need 45 minutes. X kerusi need 45 times X. 1 kerusi Y or Q need 30 minutes. Y kerusi, I take 30 times Y. And this must be jumlah masa maximum. That means the maximum time taken must be 5.5 hours. Now, 5.5, you're going to times 60 because this is in minute. So you can actually leave your answer in a big number like this, 5.5 times 60. Yeah? This will be 330. We can write 4x plus 30y less equals 330. You can stop here actually. But later when you draw graph, right, I would prefer to simplify this, make the number smaller, easier, right? Easier to draw a graph. Okay, second one is your tempo masa untuk mengecat, right? The time taken to paint it, right? The masa untuk mengecat kedua kerusi sekurang-kurangnya 5 jam 50 minit. So this two will be 50x because you make X kerusi P, and 70y because you make Y kerusi Q. Now they say sekurang-kurangnya. Sekurang-kurangnya is at least greater equals 5 hours and 50 minutes. So 1 hour is 60 minutes, 5 hours and 50 minutes is 5 times 60 plus 50. So this is 50x plus 70y greater equals 350. Okay, so I've got the second inequality. Okay, so the third inequality is this. Nisbah bilangan kerusi P kepada kerusi Q tidak melebihi 4:5. Okay, so I'm going to write over here. Kerusi P is X, kerusi Q is Y. Tidak melebihi is less equals 4/5. We can cross multiply and say 5x less equals to 4y. So actually you can stop here, but I think a lot of people would prefer to make y as a subject, write y greater equals to 5/4x. So that is easier for us to know where to shade the region. Where you shade the region is based on your y. Your y is more than, we shade the region above. Your y is less than, you shade the region below. Okay, now, so I've done this part. Then they say, dengan menggunakan skala 2 cm kepada 1 unit kepada kedua-kedua paksi bina dan lorekkan rantau R. Okay, well, for me, I will use this and simplify. Like the first one, 45, right? I think I can divide by 45, 30, and 330. We can divide by 15, right? So as we divide by 15, 45 divided by 15 is 3, 30 divided 15 is 2, and 330 divided 15, not sure, use a calculator. 330 divided 15, you should get 22. Not a nice number. Then I'd like to use a table of values. This is your x, this is your y. I substitute x with 0. When x is 0, your y is 11, sub y with 0. Okay, this one a bit difficult because when you put y equals 0, you got 22 divided by 3, not a nice number, 7.333, right? It's okay, 7.333. Yeah, later we can just estimate, or we can pick another point. All right, the second inequality is this, 50x, 70y. We divide everything by 10. 5x, 7y greater equals 35. So use a table of values x and y. So we sub x with 0, your y is 5. Sub y with 0, your x is 7. Okay. So now, third inequality, y equals 5/4x. Okay, actually, when you write this, right, because I'm building a table, sorry, yeah, we should use equal sign, not inequality. Yeah, we should write equal sign when you're building a table, but no marks is given for drawing this table anyway. So whether you want to draw it or the one is up to you. It's just easier for us to map the point. When x is 0, y is 0. Now, let's take a second point. You can use any coordinate. Here, the questions say your unit, your scala is 2 cm to 1. So I think I'll just use x equals to 4, y will be 5, right? It's a very small graph. I mean, the scale is very small, 1:1. Okay, so let's just draw our axis here. I start by drawing horizontal. Okay, the graph paper that I'm giving you here, I'm using here is 8:11. In SPM, usually it's 8:11. So this is 0, 1. Okay, let me zoom in a bit hard to see, right? 1, still a bit hard to see. Let me put a 1 closer. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is your x. Then you go on your y, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your y maximum is 11. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is your y. Okay, let me just draw the y-axis. Okay, paksi y over here. Move up. There you go. Wow, it's okay. I put my y here. Yeah. Should I drop this? Okay, better. All right. So let's draw the first graph, 0, 11, 7p, 7.70, 7.330. 0, 11 is this point here. Go all the way down. 7.33 is between 7 and 8. You can use 7.3 here. Okay, 7.33. Maybe here. Close enough. Okay, I think it's good enough. So this equation is 3x plus 2y equals 22. Okay, this is your first equation. Second one is x equals 0, y equals to 5, x equals 7, y equals to 0. So 0, 5, 7, 0. 0, 5, 7, 0. Okay, let me move this a little bit. Okay, move it across. So here, 7, 0. So this inequality, as we know, is 5x. Let me write here. It is 5x plus 7y equals 35. Okay, the third one is y equals to 5 over 4x. We know 0, 0, 4, 5. 0, 0, 4, 5. 0, 0 is here. 4, 5 must be a bit higher here. I think it touches this point. Yeah, this point here. I just extend the line. Make sure you can see it. Okay. This is y equals 5 over 4x. Okay, so the region that we have to shade, right? It must be, oops. Where's my graph? Wait, my graph is missing. Okay, my graph is back. So here, my region, it must be, first of all, it must be less equals 330. Okay, I'm going to do a light shading. The first one, less equals to 3x plus 2y less equals 22. So it's supposed to be below here. 1, I just shade like this. Number 2, 5x 7y must be greater equals 350. So it's above this line. So I know this part here is out. So I'm going to erase it. I don't want this. Okay, third, your y greater equals to 5 over 4x. So it must be above this line. All right. And of course, you need to use x greater than 0, y greater than 0. So you know it cannot exceed here. Your bilangan krusi and major must be, bilangan krusi must be always more than 0. So this is the region of feasible solution. So we put R. Okay, rantau yang diperlukan. Okay, so we already shared the region. So, okay. Yeah, bina lorek rantau R yang memenuhi semua kekangan. So this is the one. Okay, next, gunakan graf untuk menjawab soalan berikut. Julat bilangan kerusi Q jika bilangan kerusi P ialah 3. Okay, kerusi P is X. Okay, so X is now 3. So I'm going to use a blue pen, maybe black pen better. 3, so this is 3, move it up. Find the range of values. Julat is your range, range of values. Now, in this case, we obviously cannot take 2 point something. It's actually 2 point something here. But bilangan kerusi is a discrete quantity. It has to be whole number, right? So, yeah, 3. You move up. This will be, we can't take 6 point something. So we have to take 6. The closest is 6. So the julat should be between 3 to 6. So how do I answer? We say the julat, let me write below here. Your julat is, okay, maybe I write here better. Your y value, yeah, is, let me write below here. Julat, this is C Roman 1, between 3 and 6. Okay, then keuntungan maksimum sehari jika keuntungan yang diperoleh daripada satu unit kerusi P dan satu unit kerusi Q adalah masing-masing adalah RM16, RM10. So 16x, RM16 times x plus 10y. If you earn RM16 from one share is kerusi P, so it's 16 times 1. If you make 16 kerusi P, that you make x kerusi P is 16 times x, 16x. The same thing from kerusi Q. One kerusi Q, you make RM10. If you made y kerusi Q is 10y plus together, the keuntungan is equals to k. K is what we call the objective function. So our job is to find the maximum value of k. Now I want to draw this line, yeah, the objective function. For me, I would change it to y equals to mx plus c, divide everything by 10. This will be 8 over 5x plus k over 10. So to maximize your profit or your keuntungan, we need to draw this straight line with the gradient of negative 8 over 5, but the y-intercept is variable. Yeah, the y-intercept is k over 10, and you want your y-intercept to be maximum. Okay, so I'm going to draw a straight line here with the gradient of negative 8 over 5. So the easiest way to draw negative 8 over 5 for me is to use 8 boxes vertically, 5 boxes horizontally. Normally we use a dotted line, but because it's easier for me to use a solid line here, so I'm going to use solid line, different color. You can see here it's blue color, or maybe I should use purple. Yeah, easier to see, different color. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take this line and I'm going to move it up. Okay, I'm going to move this line up such that I have a largest y-intercept, right? So this purple line, let me just draw one more here. You can actually make sure the line is just parallel. You can just move it up and down. Right? See, I draw a parallel line like this. Okay, you take this line, move it. If I move it down here, this doesn't give us the smallest y-intercept. The smallest y-intercept is actually here at 5. But we don't want the smallest y-intercept. In fact, you want the largest y-intercept. You can see the largest y-intercept occur here at this point. And this coordinate over here is actually 4, 5. You can see around 4, 5. Okay, let me just zoom out a bit. It happens at 4, 5. Okay, so we can say, yeah, it's very, very close because the gradient is almost the same as the gradient of the other line. So we say K is maximum at 4, 5. To find the maximum K, we don't find from the graph. We move up and down, we move the line up and down just to identify the coordinate that gives us the maximum K, right? To find the maximum K, we sub inside here. We know our X is 4, our Y is 5. So 16 times 4, then 10 times 5, the result is 114. So this is your keuntungan maximum 114 ringgit. Okay, that's it. Okay, this is the last question from Kinematics of Linear Motion. Gerakan atas garis lurus. So we have suatu zara bergerak di sepanjang garis lurus dan melalui satu titik tetap O. Hal lajunya V selepas melalui O is given by this equation, right? So can you write down? So V equals to T square minus PT plus 15. So zara itu berhenti seketika di titik A dan titik B sepanjang garis lurus. Okay, so to find nilai P first, we know that pecotan zara ialah 4 meter per second apabila T equals to 6. So to find pecotan from what they call the halaju, we have to differentiate dV dt, right? Bezakan, you get 2T minus P. Okay, we substitute, gantikan your A with 4 and your T with 6 to find your P. As I bring the P over, this is 12 minus 4. P value is 8. All right, this is a Roman 1. Next, cari masa dalam saat apabila zara berada di A and B. And that zara berada A and B when they berhenti seketika, stop momentarily. So that happens when your V is 0. We know your V is T squared minus P. P is 8. T plus 15. You let it be 0. Let's double bracket factorize. Factor of 15, 3 and 5. Both are negative. My T is either 3 or 5. Two answers. Okay. So yeah, we are supposed to find the time. So we got two different time. Next, lakarkan graf laju masa bagi T between 0 to 5. Seterusnya tentukan jumlah jarak dilalui zarah dalam 5 saat yang pertama. Okay, so we need to sketch a graph. So for me, let me sketch a graph here, part B. All right. So we know this graph has intercept at 3 and 5. So we can just draw like this, a rough sketch one more time. 3 and 5, very small, very small value. For me, I'd like to sketch before I draw the axis because it's, in my opinion, it's a lot easier, right? Don't need to draw a lot of things. Okay, but this is still a bit ugly. Let me just improvise. So it looks like this. It's a sketch, so you don't draw perfect graph. So it looks somewhat like this. This is your velocity, halaju. This is the massa, T. Maybe I make it a bit more horizontal. Yeah, T. This intercepts at 5 and at 3. So we need to find a couple of things. This one is your 4. You can use axis of symmetry. If you want to find the minimum, right, we can substitute 4 inside. Yeah, we know when T equals to 4, what's your velocity? Your halaju, 4 square minus 8 times 4 plus 15. So 16 minus 32, 16 minus 32 plus 15. Okay, 16 minus 32 plus 15. This will be -1, very small value, -1. Now, also when T is 0, what's your velocity? I'll put 0 inside, should get 59. This is 15. Okay, my graph is almost complete. Okay, then seterusnya tentukan jumlah jarak yang dilalui. Okay, to find the jumlah jarak per total distance, we need to use integration. Okay, I just use D for distance. You can just write jarak. You integrate. There are 2 parts to it. The first part is the area above. Yeah. The second part is the area below, the green one. Okay, you don't have to shade this up, but just so you know, the green one is below, the red, the yellow one is above. For the part above the x-axis, we can just integrate. Lower limit 0, upper limit 3. Your function is t squared minus 8t plus 15 dt. For the one below, you need to either modulus or you add a negative in front. This is from 3 to 5, t squared minus 8t plus 15 dt. Okay, so when you integrate that, increase the power by 1, 3 divided by 3, t squared divided by 2, 8 divided by 2, I write 4, and then this is 15t, lower limit 0, upper limit 3. Okay, then had bawah and had atas. This is t cubed over 3, 4t squared plus 15t, 3 to 5. Okay, now let's move on. Let us substitute, put 3 inside, 3 power 3 over 3, 4 3 squared plus 15 times 3. When you sub 0 inside, the whole thing is 0. Then you minus, put 5 inside, 5 power 3 over 3, 4 5 squared, 15 5. Okay, since I don't have space, I'm going to move this to the right a bit. Right, so you can see minus, this will be 3 cubed over 3 minus 4, 3 squared plus 15 times 3. Okay, I have a good news for you because we can actually count this by using a calculator, right? So I'm going to show you here. When you type in integration, this is the integration of original function x squared minus 8x plus 15. Lower limit, had bawah is 0, had atas is 3, press equals, this is 18. Then we just change the limit for the second one, okay? Okay, make sure you just show the limit, show your working when you substitute. This one is 3 to 5, right? -4 over 3. So because I put a negative in front, I'm making it positive. You can use the modulus. This is -4 over 3 because I know this area definitely going to be negative, right? Area cannot be negative, so we modulus it or you put a negative in front. So when you add this up, this should be 19.1 over 3. Okay, this is distance. Distance, jarak is in meter. So we just write 19.1 over 3 meter. Okay. I think that's about it for this discussion for this paper, SBP paper. I hope you learned something from this discussion. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay.